The Museum of Natural Sciences of Barcelona is composed of 5 different museums spread across the province of Barcelona. The one that we're visiting right now is called the Museu Blau, or the Blue Museum in Forum. So we are now here at the Museum of Natural Science here at Forum at the edge of Barcelona, and they have exhibits from a very long time ago, and I mean very long time ago. So it's very interesting, and you'll be able to see different kinds of animals and plants and fossils from different periods of the universe. The exhibit starts with different kinds of volcanic rocks that are found from different parts of the world, which signifies the beginning of time, wherein our Earth, the biggest rock that we could think of, is composed of these little things. After seeing different rocks and the first part, we now move on to the section called Biographia de la Tierra, or the biography of the Earth, which tells the story of how life started on the planet that we are living in. These rocks that we are seeing have been dated to come millions of years ago. This one comes from Australia, dating back to 2,500 million years ago. So this piece of rock has been on the Earth that long. And these little fossils showing different life that once lived on the Earth during those millions of years ago are also found from different places of the Earth. Look at that on the corner. What is that giant thing? I think it's a fish fossil. I don't know. If you know it, tell us in the comments. So after we saw a tour of the evolution of how our planet formed and the life that we know within, we move on to a section called Animals, which of course shows the different kinds of animals that are seen in the Earth. Some of them are reptiles, some of them are birds, and different kinds of mammals that are placed in the museum collection. This one is a cheetah, and it's so beautiful, very beautiful. I know taxidermies can be very scary, but at the same time, it's very interesting because you're gonna see it exactly how it would look like when it's alive. I moved on to the fish section, I was so amazed to see this beautiful sunfish. Okay, I know it's not beautiful, but it's something very interesting for me. And the first time I saw a real live one was in 2018 in Osaka Aquarium in Japan. Even more interesting animals are on display, including this very big anteater. I have never seen one in real life, and I am so amazed how high his eyes are from his snout. Is it even called a snout? I think so. And this giant vulture. I know there's even more bigger vultures than that one. And this one is a kangaroo with a joey inside it. This one is a little bit creepy, I know. Another interesting one is this giant wasp's nest. And if I'm not mistaken, it's called the Asian wasp. And it's so amazing because they cut a part of the outer shell so that you can really see what's inside. Of course, no museum is ever complete without these giants. The African elephant that is so majestic, an alligator, and the rhinoceros. They're all housed also inside as collections, including this beautiful tortoise that is like so big, really, really big. And also this giant clam, which I thought at first were moose antlers. This cabinet of curiosities section of the museum is very much helpful when it comes to children and gave them the idea of how important it is for us to have these different collections, not just for science, but collecting in general, because it would allow us to identify different things that are very important and to classify also these living things depending on different classifications, because as we know, there's no one single classification available for anything in this world. So we should have to know the different ways of how we could group things and study them. The next section is the plant section, which I would say is not as extensive as the animal collection, but still as interesting, because also, as I have said earlier, that the Museum of Natural Sciences of Barcelona is composed of 5 different museums, and some of them are actually botanical gardens. And that one I would so love to visit very soon, because as a lover of plants, it would be very interesting for me, because as I have heard, they don't just house plants that are native to Barcelona or from Spain, but even different plants from different countries. Viruses are also explained and touched on a little bit on the museum, and this large scale of the HIV virus is very interesting to see also. And that concludes our visit to the Museum of Natural Sciences in Barcelona. I hope you have a great time just as much as I did, and I'll see you again on our next episode of this Barcelona series on Stephen's Q. Bye bye.